Hello, guys. Welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to be joined with Endry Deaker from Anything Blows, and we're here for the Chantelle Cameron Katie Taylor reaction plus the undercard as well. And Endry, pleasure getting you on as always.
It is, Sam. It is. Thank you so much for having me, and pleasure to be here with you today.
And yes, so the first fight was Giorgio Fisioli v Lee Anthony Sibley, and well, round one knockout for Visioli. I mean, we both said points. I mean, we said it would be hard ass getting a knockout on his debut, but he didn't disappoint at all, did he?
No, he didn't. It was a beautiful standout performance. As you were saying earlier, to be in Mark Tibbs' gym is not an easy thing to do. To be in a caliber of gym such as that, you know you're a talent and you're starting to make. And of course, I said he has an amazing amateur pedigree, but most people under the lights on the biggest stage possible rarely get knockouts on their debuts. And to get a clean knockout as he did, orthodox to southpaw, clean right hand, left hand, and then got him out of there.
And yeah, he moves to 1-0 with one knockout, and he beat Lee Anthony Sibley. But yeah, what a shot it was, and not many people take those sort of opponents on their debut. So a big win for
He had
Vizio.
the winning record as well, so it looks even better now.
And then we had John Cooney, who was so we're 1 out of 1 at the minute on prediction. Then it was John Cooney, Liam Gaynor, and John Cooney won in the first round. Didn't expect that. I thought, as I said in my prediction, I thought Gaynor would be too rough, too tough for him, take him to trenches where he haven't been. But John Cooney talked a good game, and he delivered on the night. And Gaynor just couldn't recover from the knockdown. I would say it was a fairly good call. And John Cooney's now the Celtic champion. So, and I do like these sort of Celtic titles. They're sort of like I would say it's sort of like their English title in a way.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, that's a big win for John Cooney. Won in round number 1, basically.
Yeah, he did, and I was surprised with it because I missed that one, but I've managed to watch the highlights. Great win, and look, it's one of those things that happen. It's those title fights, you feel like it's going to be a 50-50. It goes to the end. Someone won't get a knockout to the last few rounds, or it goes to a decision, and it's just those spur of the moment. I wouldn't call them victories or knockouts or like freak injuries in the sport. I'd just say it was a surprise, but it was a really good performance, and it could have gone either way in that sense. But congratulations to John.
And I think John might get signed by Eddie after that, but yes. Jamie Morsey, Emmett Brennan. It was we did say that it wasn't going the distance. It was in the 8th round, and Emmett Brennan stopped Morsey in round number 8. And in my opinion, good call from the corner throwing the towel in, because he was gonna go. Yeah, did you see this one?
I think this was the one I watched from round 2 to. But no, was this? No, sorry, I saw Carty's from 2 to 8. So no, I feel like I'm no. Was it this one? I can't recall. There was one I watched from 2 to 8. It'd probably be a further one, but I think I'm going to say I missed this one.
But basically, Emmett, I would say, took the sort of early stages, won 4 of the 5. Then Jamie came back in strong 6 and 7. It was just the full out what you expected. Celtic War. Of course, we were struggling to pick it. We edged to Morsey, but Brennan got the stoppage. And yeah, I mean, his left hook. I mean, you should, if you get a chance, watch the full fight like later on. But honestly, they both stood there and traded. I mean, even though so I'm the new Emmett Brennan, but Jamie Morsey will come back stronger from this, and maybe a rematch, who knows, or Jamie might move back down to super middle. I mean, he was he had both belts at super middle and light heavy, so he just. But yeah, I think maybe a rematch, or he might drop down in weight. But very impressed with Emmett Brennan. I was good win for him, and of course
100%.
He's 2-0 with that title. So I mean, yeah, it's good stuff for him as well. Then we had Zelfa Barrett, Constantine Ione, it was 78-75, I think.
Yeah.
Zelfa made it harder than he needed to. I wouldn't say he was in any sort of bother. I just thought he would have dealt with it more easy. But of course, the jab was on point. I mean, he's got that win under his belt. Good 8 rounds for him, and I'm sure he'll be knocking on the door for a world title very soon.
And this was the one I got bang on. This was the one I believe I watched from round 2 onwards, and I did say he'd get over the 8 rounds in a decision. I didn't say what decision, but decision in 8 rounds, I did say.
Yeah, we both said decision to Zelfa, and he moves on to bigger and better. Then we had Sky Nicholson stopped Lucy Wilder in round 9. I mean, we both called it. Well, we didn't call the stoppage, but you know what we meant. We were saying it was going to be a one-sided fight, and I was very impressed with Sky. Were you?
Yeah, no, 100%. For the first time in a while, I think since her Australia fight, I see her. She didn't put down her opponent. She did in the Australia fight. I did say Sky, I thought it'd go a decision, but she does have that puncher's power, and it is there. And she just broke Lucy Wildheart down. And Lucy Wildheart, as I was corrected, she was training at the Churchill's gym, and she was with Harry Mullins as well. So I'm in a corner. Look, a great gym, fantastic gym in London. But again, even Harry said it after, there's levels, and it's respect at the end of the day. Lucy gave it, as her nickname goes, Lucy Wildheart. So yeah, Lionheart Wildheart, I believe it is. So, yeah.
She does like getting in a good fight, but I think I broke it down pretty well, and that we broke it down pretty well in the build-up, and I think it was a good call. I think Lucy didn't just save her for another day. She wasn't going to win the fight. She was going to just get beaten up for the rest of the rounds, so the last 2. So just save her for another day, and I can imagine, as she's always in good fights, she always takes good opportunities, and I'm sure we'll see her on the big stage again. But I think Sky now will try and look for that world title.
Amanda Serrano fight, yeah. And just before you move on, 2 shout-outs I want to give. Lucy, honestly, heart of a lion, because like you said there, you think, can it go to decision? Can you stay in there? As you say, save her for another day, and she performed amazingly as to the best she could. And Sky Nicholson, amazing performance, and just want to give a shout out to Bradley Skeet and Eddie Lam. Great team, and going on to bigger things in the future.
100%. Yes. Then we had Thomas Carty v Dan Garber. Thomas got him out in the last round, but I mean, was it Dan said that I spoke to Dan this morning. He said, he's happy because, I mean, people were saying, oh, Carty's going to blow him over in 3. We were saying 4, 5, sort of 6 area. But yes, Dan Garber showed how tough he was. I mean, the opening round, I mean, they just, you said you missed the opening round, but you didn't miss anything. I swear.
No, I saw it. It was great, honestly.
The round 1, I think 3 punches in total, and then even though Carty was throwing, Dan did, he was slipping some of his right hands very well, Dan, but he didn't make him miss, make him pay, sort of thing, you know. Wasn't it got ugly at times, wasn't great to watch. I mean, Carty was always didn't look hurt, but he landed a few right hands, but Garber took his power quite well. I mean, I just think it wasn't. I thought Dan did better. I knew Dan would be on the back foot, but I thought maybe he would let his hands go a bit. He did try, and I think there will be big fights out there for Dan Garber. I mean, Carty messaged him and saying, "Oh, you showed me stuff I need to know," something like that. But he tested him, and he's probably his best test so far, in my opinion. And I would like to see Dan Garber maybe with a TKV, with a Harry Armstrong. I think those could be good domestic dust-ups for him. And I still think that a central area title is in Dan Garber's reach. Of course, he is. Hopefully, I'm not wrong. I think he's 38. How long he's got left, but I still think he's got a few there domestic dust up with TKV, the Armstrong, the central area, something like that. But Carty moves on. again, he won't be happy with the performance, but he got the job done and he got the stoppage in the end. So that's what Carty wants. He wasn't his best performance, but he's got through it, and yeah, bigger and better things for him now. Maybe Nick Campbell, Johnny Fisher, those. I would like to see a Nick Campbell fight actually for.
That's a great name there. I wasn't even thinking that. That's a great name. Scotland versus Ireland.
Yeah, for the Celtic that he's got. Yeah, that could be a good fight. But yeah, wasn't overly impressed with Carty. I was impressed with Dan. Not you mean I meant his movement and how he dealt with Carty's power. I thought that's impressive from Dan. But yeah, Thomas Carty moves on to 7.
And do you agree with the stoppage just before moving on?
I think it was fair. I think yeah, it was fair.
Because it could have been a Lee Wood-Lara situation where it would have got him out even worse in that moment if he pounced on him.
I mean, there was 40 seconds, but
40 seconds. So
you do get up. I mean, but yeah, Thomas would have started swinging and really. So I think it was a good call. Carty moves to 7-0 with 6 knockouts, and Dan Garber drops to 5-2. But Dan Garber will be back stronger and hopefully will be on the TV again. But Thomas Carty moves forward.
100%.
Yes. Hang on. What fight? Oh, Paddy Donovan defeats Danny Bull. I mean, round 4. I mean, Paddy looked really. As much as I'm a big fan of Danny, like Danny a lot, but Paddy was outstanding yesterday. Danny couldn't even get near him, couldn't really throw a shot. It was just pure slickness, pure class from Donovan. I mean, he puts him down for the first time, which was a pretty heavy shot in itself. But the warrior that Danny Bull is, he got up. And then Paddy, went for the finish. He went his sort of, and then he looked to his corner, and the corner threw it in. I thought it was a great call from the corner. Paddy was very impressive. I don't know who you would like to. I'm not sure what person he should fight next. Danny will be, of course. Danny still got the English title. I do believe, but Danny will be back stronger than ever. But yeah, I was very impressed with Paddy. Were you?
Yeah, no, it was a great fight. I wouldn't say surprised, but it was more than what I expected. So surprised in one sense, but also I didn't expect it. That's the word I'll say. But yeah, it was a great fight, great contest, and yeah, it just proved me wrong. That's what I'm gonna say.
Who would you like to see Donovan fight?
That's a hard one because do you want to push him on in a domestic route, or do you want to put him onto world titles, but not world titles, British titles? And because I feel like he could fight someone in the regional level that has a big name, but also he is probably now about 1 or 2 fights away from fighting for.
What about Congo?
Oh no! I think Congo has a better of him on that day. In all honesty. Oh, whoops! That's my alarm. Bear with me 1 second. Sorry.
Yeah, but overall,
apologies about that.
Pardon?
Apologies about that.
Wait, what did you say about Chris Congo? Because in my opinion, that could be a good fight.
I believe it could be, but I believe Chris Congo would respectfully. But again, it's an all-out war. It depends who's the better man on the day.
Or Stephen. Or another Irishman, Stephen McKenna.
Oh, that's a better fight. I like that. I really like that fight. I do.
Oh, actually, yeah. I think no offense to Paddy, but I think Congo would beat him. But Donovan oh my days! McKenna. Just forgot who I just said. I mean.
Yeah, no. That would be a great dust up. That would be a great fight. And from what McKenna's last fight was, if you carry it on that way, oh my God, it's just going to be unreal.
I want to see that fight. I think that's a fight we need to see. Then we had, arguably, in my opinion, one of the fights many people could have stole the show that night. Gary Cully beat Reese Mould on split decision, 97-93 Mould, 97-93 Cully, and 96-93 Cully. I'll let you break this one down first.
Yeah, it was a great fight. I did say in the most respectful way possible, when you're going to the other person's home nation or hometown, then if it's going to be a close fight, then I believe they're going to do everything in their power to side it that way. Do I think Reese Mould won? Again, it's a tough one. It was a great fight. Again, it's one of those you go either way. Do I think 7-3? Maybe not. 6-4 either way. 6-4 either way. I can see 7-3 on one card, but again, I think it's a kind of 6-4 fight where it's not a draw, but you've just got one side winning more than the other. So yeah.
I thought Gary Cully came up opening bell. The round one came out. He had his hands high. I thought that's what I expected from Cully. I thought first round very cautious. You always had Mould trying to push the fight. He was more aggressive. I did give round one to Cully based on his jab. He kept his jab long, and he just boxed smart in that opening round. Then in round 2 and 3, I gave to Mould. I thought he was closing the gap well, landed a few good left hooks. I think it was a bit of a back and forth sort of fight. It wasn't a dog fight. It was more one's doing the boxing and one's the aggressor. That was the sort of fight. And then I had at the end of the 5th, I have 48-47, then it was 58-56, and then the last 7 and 8 I gave to Mould, and then the last 2 I gave to Gary Cully. But honestly, you couldn't. Half the rounds were really close.
Yeah, you really couldn't separate them.
There is a rematch clause, so there will be a rematch. I would like to see that rematch because Mould feels hard done by. I thought Cully was the right winner on the night. I wouldn't have been surprised if it went to Mould. Wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw. But
was it the WBA European or was it Continental, Intercontinental title?
It was the WBA Intercontinental. I can't remember. But yeah. Cully. I mean, he did what he needed. It's just, Gary Cully moves forward. It was a bit of it was tight to call, but Cully won. And I can't wait for the rematch. Hopefully that's, it could be on a Katie Taylor Cameron third fight. Who knows?
Ooh,
I'll ask you a question about that in a minute. But we had our main event of the evening. We had the rematch between Chantelle Cameron and Katie Taylor, which was for the IBF, IBO, WBA, WBC, WBO World Super Lightweight titles, and it was a good fight. Don't get me wrong. I have my card here. You know, round 1, Taylor came out of the blocks quick. Then Cameron landed a jab. Katie Taylor went down. The ref said it wasn't. In my opinion, that was a knockdown. I thought, and then when Katie got back up, Cameron ended the round strong. So that was a round for Chantelle Cameron. But other than that, maybe round 8, I would give to Cameron. I gave it to Taylor, but maybe round 8. Other than that, I couldn't see how you could give it to Cameron. I'm shocked how people said it was 95-95 was fair. I'm surprised how people are saying it's a robbery, which is not. I've seen loads of people say, some people had it one-sided to Cameron. Some people have it like me, one-sided to Taylor. Some people have 2-3 rounds to Taylor, 2-3 rounds in it for Cameron. It was just, I don't really know. It was a bit of a weird one. I thought Katie, she was outstanding yesterday with her combinations. She cut Cameron. I was just overly impressed with Taylor, and I thought people said don't stand and trade. She did stand and trade with her, and she was winning the inside battle, and I thought it was a tough night for Cameron. I think people was overall Taylor did a number on her. She
Mm.
did. And yes, they're 1-1. I think Cameron thought it would be similar to the first fight where it was her dictating the pace, but that time it was Katie dictating the pace, and she was doing Katie's was dictating the pace. But Cameron, in my opinion, won the first fight quite clear. 6-4, but I thought you couldn't give it to Taylor. So they are 1-1, which makes for a possible trilogy. Because of course, Cameron defended her titles both times. So trilogy, maybe. Why don't So I would say maybe a trilogy, or Katie fights Serrano rematch, or what would you like to see? Would you like to see a third fight with Katie Taylor and Chantelle Cameron?
Is it Croke Park, the arena they're trying to get the fight in?
Yeah.
So look, I would have preferred if the first fight would have been Amanda Serrano, and I think it's one of these stories where it's kind of like a Andy Ruiz, a Big Baby Miller, and Anthony Joshua, where the original opponent, I think Katie would have done a number on her, which would have been Amanda Serrano. But because the opponent got changed, I'm not saying that she's changed the plan or whatever, but it's unexpected. And I'm not saying that's the reason she got the win, but it's like if they would have stuck with Amanda Serrano, then I believe Katie would have defeated her. Now, Chantelle Cameron, the first one, like you said, the first one, I believe 100%, if not 90% of the majority public who aren't Katie Taylor fans agreed that was a 6-4 bout that was scored 96-94. That was a correct scoring. Now, this fight started off really good. The knockdown, I didn't see it properly because I watched it live. I just haven't seen a replay on it. But I did think initially in the moment, but she got up. But the commentary team said it wasn't. But people have said different stuff. Then you go on the later rounds. It was a great fight, honestly. Katie Taylor, as you say, dictated the pace. Chantelle Cameron trying to get inside, trying to be a little bit dirty, trying to use her boxing.
Rough it up a bit.
Yeah. And look, what do you expect? It's 20 minutes of business. That's all you have in a ring. It's respect before, it's respect after, but that's all the moments you have, and that makes it a little bit more of a grueling fight. And I wouldn't say unclean, but yeah, unclean in one sense, but it's a little bit harder to watch as a fan. And you just want, just hang on, someone's hanging on, someone's trying to get their shots off. So it makes it like a clinching, like a grappling affair. And it was a great fight, don't get me wrong. If I scored it, which I believe I scored, it was 7-3 to Katie Taylor. I believe you go 6-3 Katie or 7-3 robbery, not a chance. I can see why they came up with a draw, but I wouldn't say Katie was miles ahead, but there were rounds where she was levels better and she showed up. Again, my alarm, I'll turn that off 1 second. Sorry. I've got so many things to do. But no, again, sorry, that distracted me. But again, what I was saying, there were rounds like the 4th round, the 7th round, the 9th, the 10th, that you could just see. Yeah, the 8th, Katie Taylor just edged it. So again, 8-2, would I say 8-2 is a bit stretched? Not really, but I think it was a bit wide compared to others. But 7-3 is what I'd agree with on that night. 7-3 for sure.
So yeah, that's our reaction to the Katie Taylor Chantelle Cameron rematch. Katie Taylor defeats Chantelle Cameron on split decision, wasn't it?
Majority, because 95-95.
Oh yes. Sorry. Majority. Katie Taylor beats Chantelle Cameron on majority decision. And yes, thank you for your time, Andrew. And yeah. Yeah,
so you know it, Sam. Everyone make sure to go subscribe to SWS Boxing. Let's get him on 1K before the end of the year.
Thanks, mate. And make sure you subscribe to Anything Blows as well. Thanks, guys.